Hello and thanks for joining us at the Barnsley Chronicle, where I'm joined by unbeaten boxing prospect Dempsey Wale. Dempsey improved his record to 10 wins last Saturday at the Metrodome. Here's some highlights from his win over Gurjan Singh.
From Punjab in India, let's hear from Gurjan Singh. From Chronicle in Barnsley, let's hear from Dempsey Wale. 6 women in line.
So, Dempsey, 10-0, how does that sound?
It feels good. It sounds good. It was the first goal that we wanted to achieve as a professional boxer. Me and my dad together, obviously, and with Josh. It's a really special feeling to finally get there now. Yeah.
And the fight itself, could it have gone better? Could it have gone worse?
Oh yeah. There's always room for improvement and areas that I could have done better. And as you know, I'm one of my biggest critics myself. So I'd like to get the stoppage, but some guys they don't get stopped, and I think he's one of them. Full credit to him. He dug deep. We're a tough fight for him. Obviously, Darren Sargentson, referee, said he wanted to stop it multiple times, but Singh dug deep and give some back himself. So no, full credit to him. But I watch it back and it's like what I said to you the other day is I need to work at going through my gears and start with my fundamentals a bit sooner, behind jab, my 1-2s, and then start bringing body shots in and stuff and work through the gears rather than just starting at 100 mile an hour.
Yeah, I think what we've noticed is as you've improved as a professional that you're becoming dominant in these fights, whereas at the start perhaps there's a bit more touch and go, but now as you're getting better you're starting to command the ring and let shots go.
As you know, some of these journeymen, my last one weren't a journeyman, but the 9 before I've obviously boxed journeymen, and you know what crack with them. If they think they're in with a lad that's unproven or they can get something from that fight, pick a few rounds up, get a win, they're gonna do. And unfortunately, every opponent I've had has known me quite personally. They know my lack of amateur experience, and whether I was big enough for weight or stuff like that. There were always one thing or another where I know for a fact that journeyman wanted to have a go. So there is obviously I haven't been blitzing these kids and stuff like that because they don't get blitzed unless you're a really heavy-handed puncher. You're not stopping some of these journeymen like Fonz, and they're not getting stopped. And he, like the fight with himself, he said he'd give me a good go because they know that I've only had 2 amateurs. So now to get to the point where it's my performances are speaking for themselves a bit better, it's a nice feeling. But it's down to hard work my dad and Josh have put in with me, and hopefully I keep improving. That's all I can do, and that's all I want to do is just, as long as my dad's happy that I'm improving, I'm happy.
Yeah, so your next fight's booked in for September the 1st at the Metrodome again. I know you're hopeful of getting a 10 rounder in that one.
Yeah, that's it. It's I was training for a 10 rounder for this the weekend. Obviously, as you know, I had one mission on my mind with that fight, and that was just to get the stoppage and to inflict as much damage as I could for 10 rounds, and that's what I trained for. I was really fit. And I kind of just took that into the replacement with Singh, to be honest. Could have definitely worked on the fundamentals a bit more, countered and made it a bit of an easier night's work. Not that I enjoyed every minute of it, but obviously the fight with Ducker that was meant to be a bit of a statement show, and unfortunately it didn't get to go ahead. But we're looking at someone very similar. With he's got a better record, but he's won an area title himself. He's been in with British champions, so we've got a few opponents in line, pal. Yeah.
Because it's a title you want, isn't it? That's the next goal.
Yeah. When I got the nod that it was going to be for the English title eliminator, it all became real. That I can actually get some belts for myself and for family and actually do something, because I've always been about this, you know. I have, and I've seen some kids go, some good kids have won titles, and then some really good kids haven't won titles. That's just how it is. Boxing's an hard game, and I do genuinely believe that I have always had some natural ability, which you complimented me on how I put my shots together and my combinations and stuff like that. It's even when I'm going forward and trying to fill these lads in, I'm still showing that. So there is some ability there for me to keep working on, and I just want to get something that I can be proud of. Yeah. I think an English title would be brilliant, pal.
Yeah. And for people who don't know, I mean, obviously you're from a very strong boxing family. Both your brothers boxed. Your dad boxed in the army. Your dad still Mick is obviously a proud of Barnsley winner. He obviously trains you still.
Yeah.
But your route into boxing is not as obvious as your brothers, was it?
No, obviously Gwyn had 42 and Josh had 46 amateurs, so they both had over 40 amateur fights. I had 2. So it's very, very different, and to be honest with you, it's one of the biggest regrets of my life. I'd love to see where I'd be at if I had 50 amateur bouts. A bit more schooling and experience. It's a regret that I have, but that's why I feel like I work 3 times as hard as anybody else, is because I've obviously got a lot of time to make up for, and I was always in gym. It was just a bit of a rebellious thing with my dad. He used to say, if you don't run, you don't fight. So no, well, I'm not running, and it just went back and forward like that for a few years, and then I found myself at university, and I wanted to box, and my dad said, well, if you get your degree, you can box. So, and then ever since then, it's just been tunnel vision on that. So yeah, it's very, very different to Gwyn and Josh, and but still, I bet you're our youngest in family to start in gym. I bet you're all like Mikey and Jack at 3-year-olds. I were at championships watching them in Pram. So
yeah. And obviously you mentioned university there. How's university, do you think, helped you like grow as a person?
It made me realise that there's nothing else on earth I want to do than box. Being away, it was the first time I was actually away from boxing in my life, really. And within 6 months, I was missing it that much. I got my coaching badge, and I was coming back on training. I was cornering lads in championships, in Liverpool, everywhere. We were taking them around country, and yeah, it just made me realise that as soon as I've finished university, it's the first thing I'll be doing is losing the weight, getting myself in shape. And to be honest, I never realised truly like losing weight was an easy thing. I did that within 2 months. The fitness is different that you've got to be to be a boxer. It's alright going out and running 10 miles, but it's different when you're in there and you're fighting against another strong man. It's completely different. So now I'm at that stage now. Josh said it to me, he said, you're the fittest kid I know. Let's get him out of there. And it rang home a bit, because Josh were always fittest.
Yeah.
He were always fittest, and that's what I've had to aspire to and try and achieve. And you know what we're like with Cottonwood Hills and stuff like that. Now I'm doing 10 on hills myself. It's not just the 10 and 0 that feels surreal, it's the fact that I'm able to do 10 hills. I'm doing 12 rounds in sparring, and things are coming together. This sparring for this fight I had with Singh, what best I've had by a long shot. I'm working on stuff that I've always wanted to be able to do. So it's just keep improving, and the titles will come.
Outside of boxing, you get busy as well. Obviously, you've got your own business in Brampton.
Yeah, we've got Mickey's Kitchen, obviously. Continuing my dad's legacy in something else other than just boxing, and he's in there every single day after the gym with his omelette. Yeah, it's brilliant, pal. And then I've obviously got DNA meals as well. low calorie meal preps.
So that's putting your nutrition
Well, yeah,
expertise to.
That's where it all began. Really, is when I finished uni and I were working at with Josh at the disengaged kids school, and I was making my own meal preps. They're not bad. They smell nice. How much are they? So then it just went from there. Ended up with a couple of customers, and I've still got customers now to this day that started on my first week.
Yeah.
3.5 years ago. So I've got to be doing something right.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously that's your expertise, obviously from your degree.
Yeah.
That's helping you yourself as well, train and fuel.
Yeah, nutrition. Like I've got a genuine interest in nutrition, so I like managing my meal prep company. I do want to get a master's in nutrition one day, and hopefully be a clinical nutritionist of some sort, or something along them lines. But it's helped me with everything. Understanding biomechanics, or how I need to be throwing my shots better, twisting and rotating in my hips, how it can generate power and stuff like that, which is something I've been focusing on more. So now I'm getting more experienced, is standing there and not being too big-headed to stand there and throw a jab repeatedly until I'm happy with how it's twisting and pivoting, and it's things like that I'm now improving on, that I feel like is just going to keep showing in each performance.
Yeah, your dad says you're the smartest in the family as well.
Maybe after my dad, yeah. Maybe on paper. But Josh don't get credit for all he's got to football. To say he finished school when he was 14 and he's got dyslexia, he don't do bad, does he?
No. So you're impressed by how Josh has taken to promoting. Obviously, Josh just retired last year after winning the British title, and he seems to dug to water, I suppose, in terms of.
Well, the events speak for themselves, don't they? Everybody who boxes on our shows, they're proud to be part of our shows, and we've had some good kids over the past year or so that have come on, and even like Joe McGrail, good fighter from Liverpool, he boxed in Dubai, and they're all happy to come back to our shows because they're good shows, and that's just credit to Josh and my dad as well. I don't think there's always boxing as a family that we can't do, promoting side and stuff like that, and it'll only grow for him. It's tough because we're not in a big city like Manchester or even Sheffield. Like we are limited on what we can do, fighters wise, and obviously there's only me. For Josh, who's from Barnsley, we've got Donny lads and Sheffield lads and Kerry, so it's not easy for him like it is to get set straight off. So, but I think he'll only go from strength to strength for it, and it's his passion as well. He's there 2 days before setting chairs up, and he don't pay anybody to do little jobs. He does everything himself. So yeah, he's like I said, part up to water with it.
And remember, if you've enjoyed this video, share it amongst your friends, give us a like and subscribe to receive more content straight to your inbox.